Hey everybody! So today I want to talk about another piece of media. I think this could apply to the manga version and the anime as well because of the particular scene of focus. But today I want to go ahead and expand a little bit on Tokyo Ghoul. When I was younger, Tokyo Ghoul appealed to me a lot because I was younger. And I did have a lot of teenage angst at the time, but that's not the point. I just thought the colors and the action and the gore was cool. But at the same time, I didn't quite understand why it resonated with me. At least the parts I've learned from now. When I was younger, I felt that I related to Kaneki because he feels a little odd in his place, like he's in between. He feels like he doesn't fit with this new Ghoul society that he's a part of, and he resists changing a lot. And that too is an important lesson and plays a part in the even bigger lesson, but is not the main point. He did not like having his values pushed. He did not like feeling like he was betraying himself or the people around him, and he missed what he knew. And part of not being able to adapt and change, evolve to his new circumstances, it's what leads to the moment where, trigger warning, if you don't know anything about Tokyo Ghoul, it's a pretty dark and gory show, so if you don't like that, please tune out now. It's probably not a video for you. But the scene where Kaneki is being tortured in the chair, we see him visited by himself, have memories of his mother, and he is visited by the ghoul that kills him. And she basically tells him that he needs to fight for his life. Kaneki is in this situation, and the moral of Tokyo Ghoul's story is, it is good to be a good person and all, but at the same time, when you meet a monster, you can't just be that good person. Like, I think I've heard a lot of other people talk about this, but I remember, like, specifically, there was this speaker called Jordan Peterson who basically said that a rabbit isn't virtuous. And what that basically means is that kindness in a way only goes so far, because kindness is for your friends. Kindness is for the people in your life you're meant to be gentle with, but this approach never applies to reality. It never applies to the feats you have to overcome and the obstacles you have to navigate through in real life. And Kaneki fails because he's so stuck in his feelings and his past that he doesn't see that he is failing to adapt, and that is the reason why a lot of his friends and his new, I guess, Ghoul family are meeting their demise, because they live in a world where it is pretty cutthroat, and you meet ghouls who have malicious intent. They have sadistic qualities and tendencies. And so when Kaneki wants to introduce his human side, not only introduce, but really maintain it, those other ghouls who are unwilling to hold back and they know what they want, basically end up devouring these good parts of Kaneki and exploiting him, and through these exploits even hurting the people he loves. And I never realized this moral of Tokyo Ghoul until I was older, because a lot of people don't talk about this. You know, this day and age, it's a lot about collaboration, and it's a lot about cooperation and being a team to get things done, despite, you know, the individualistic messages we get from the West that are praised. It's always make peace. But sometimes, not only for the people you love, but for self-preservation, you have to create boundaries. You have to bare your teeth at things that are totally fixated on just getting what they want. And they will use you as a means to an end to get it. And that's really hard to learn because it's really hard to calibrate. If you've never been an assertive person, if you're really agreeable, it's hard to get to that point. And once you get to that point, it's hard not to know when you have taken it too far, because we don't want to burn bridges, and we don't want to hurt people, and we don't want to look ugly, and we don't want to feel bad. But in the end, like, sometimes you're swimming with sharks. Not always, but you are. So you can't always afford to be that rabbit. It doesn't make you a bad person. It's just you have to know, be as kind, as compassionate as you can is sort of a social understanding right now. But, you know, stick up for yourself and stick up for the people you love when it's necessary. And so I just think that's so interesting, because in the end, I think what made Kaneki, it made him strong, yes, and that is what you're meant to take away, that if you give into that, it makes you strong, but it didn't come before he took heavy losses, and many people lost their lives, and it took him mentally fracturing and him becoming a totally different personality under pressure to be able to pull this off. And it's because Kaneki didn't want to face reality when he had opportunities to ease into this new understanding of the world he was in. And so I don't really have like a wrap-up thought for that, because I think unpacking all of what that means is a thought within itself. It's a lot to just kind of observe and bring inside and unpack. It's one of those things where you take what resonates and, you know, you leave what you don't agree with. Because this is an approach at life. It is a perspective you can take. It's not what you must do. Because in the end, you can do what you want with your life. Because life is unpredictable. You may not meet those people who are willing to take advantage of you, but you might. Or someone you know might. Or someone you know may not. But I hope that harm never comes your way or to the ones that you love. And you always stay well. And you're always, you know, on an uptrend in life and safe. You know, I would want that for anybody. So yeah, I hope that me talking a little bit about the moral of that story was enlightening for some, because I feel like sometimes we see media and we go back to it once or twice and we love it, but we don't really understand why we love it. So yeah, if you enjoy Tokyo Ghoul 2, let me know. Or if you like any other animes or have like cool recommendations, please leave them down in the comments, because I would love to watch them too. And then maybe I could talk about those in the future as well and just share thoughts with you. All right, thanks guys. Love you, bye.